Oh my goodness. Ah! Hey guys, welcome to episode 1, the World Tour. This guy, I don't know where he's gone. He's gonna kill me. What? Where did he go? Oh my goodness. He's what? Oh, he walked up the stairs. He came inside. Woo! That was a good way to start the World Tour. Alright, hello everybody. This is Spaggy Mobile, and this is my survival single player world. For the first episode, I figured I'd do a world tour, as I've actually played in this world for a good amount of time, and I'd like to do a world tour to start, so everyone is caught up with what I've built so far, and I can take you all on the journey as we progress in this survival world. For anybody curious, here is my statistic of time played in this world, 5.33 days. And I figured I'd start this world tour at this area here, which has been most of my starter base and most of what I've built to get going and get the resources and such to continue to progress. This area, as you will see, is a massive cliff face, and there's a lot of water out this way. I really love this area. I've never done a world tour, so I'm not entirely sure where to start. I'll show you my spawn chunks later on in the video, as there's not actually anything built there just yet. I possibly have plans to do something in the future, but my spawn chunks are off in that direction, and we basically took a boat right up to this stream of water where I swam up, and I built my first base right in here. I've actually removed all the chests and furnaces, but I just chucked some furnaces and chests in the wall, and we progressed to eventually living up on the surface through this little cave system right here. So we eventually progressed to this area up here where I have made this tiny bridge. This is the first thing I actually built in the world, bar those pens over there. This little bridge. It's not much, but I actually like it quite a lot. I would have liked to eventually fill this in with a proper river, as I didn't make this. It was already here, and I was sick of trying to get from this side of the stone to that side of the stone without a bridge. Hello, Happy Ghast. So, the next thing we built was a few of these animal pens right here. This is definitely not animal abuse. So sheep and cows, there's hardly any grass here because I didn't have Silk Touch for ages, so I actually spread the grass over to that pen, and they barely have enough grass to survive. There was another pen here full of chickens. There is a fox running around. Oh, you saw it right there? And he was in the chicken pen and killed all of the chickens, but before they all died, I did get a ton of eggs, so I'm perfectly fine. I've also thrown a lot of eggs into the water, so there's a lot of chickens on these cliffs and just down randomly. Also a lot of cows, because it turns out if you breed too many cows into a pen of cobblestone fences, the cows will begin to escape and they pathfind off the cliffs. Of course, to breed all of these cows, I needed some wheat, so I built this big giant wheat field right here with all of this decoration. Again, some of the building that I did near the very start of the series. It is not finished at all, as you can see. I built this path and then I didn't leave myself a way to get up into here because I have farmed this quite a few times to be able to breed those animals down there. I did have a plan really early on in this series to create a villager farm using an allay. I've never used the allays before, and I really wanted to try this out. This actually works, surprisingly enough, because it's full. Because I didn't actually think it would for quite a while, as it was super slow. It is still quite slow, but I've loaded this area quite a bit that it provides me with enough wheat. I mostly wanted this for things like target blocks and any hay bales and such that I would need in the future, as I haven't bred animals in quite a while. There's not much else in this area apart from a potato and a carrot farm, and I was going to expand it and decorate it, and I just never got around to it. So I've farmed these using a fortune pick and just like so. I just realized this is a backup of my actual world, so moving this wheat or doing these crops, I don't need to do any of that. So I did have quite a few troubles trying to get this villager farm to work because I wasn't entirely sure about the mechanics of the villager using a composter and him creating bone meal and all of that. The last time I'd ever made a villager farm was a long time ago, before all of the workstation stuff was integrated into the game. So this was a fun experiment, and I'm glad it works. This Happy Ghast I actually used to get the villager over here, as well as to get enough villagers into this area so I could build a villager breeder, which has a lot of villagers in, because after so much time of manually feeding these guys from those farms over there, I decided to at least set up, please ignore my phone in the background, so unprofessional. I decided to at least, okay, I can play this game, to set up a daylight sensor mechanism here to shoot a bunch of crops to, oh, that scared me so much. I was like, where have my villagers gone? But they are sleeping. You can see him right there. That's his elbow. Yeah, so I set up these to shoot the crops at them, so at least they could breed automatically every day. I haven't done too much with villagers, but these are just a couple of the librarians that I've found. I've got a looting 3, an efficiency 4, a mending. This was a cartographer I used to find a trial chamber. He has since been turned into a zombie, and he can stay like that for as long as I please. There's a bunch of random stuff, like I've got these rails and this dripstone, a block of quartz, this random carrot. I really need to tidy up this world, but it's kind of fun to have it all laying around. This is my sugarcane farm. Very, very simple. I have not automated it at all. This has provided me with enough sugarcane so far, as I haven't needed rockets. I have not been to the end yet, which was actually a really weird experience for me. Playing in this world, I actually played it really slow, which is why I built a bunch of animal farms, and I actually decorated this farm over here. I played this game quite slow in the beginning, which is not how I've ever played it in the past, because typically in the past, I will do my best to get so far into the game to get a storage system, to get all of the diamond gear, to get an elytra, to get rockets going, all of those things so fast. And I actually enjoyed much more playing the game slowly, taking my time, getting the resources a little bit slower. I since have upgraded. I have really good tools right now, although they're still not max, and my armor still is looking much better. But again, this chestplate I actually got from a villager. These boots don't even have protection or Soul Seed 3 on them, and I do have a helmet. It's just in my ender chest, as it's almost broken, and I haven't put mending on it just yet. Whoopsies. So yes, I played this game quite slow, and I decided to build a house on this cliffside right here. This is my first time actually decorating with certain roof shapes. I do not have much experience building in this game, and I really wanted to get a little bit better at it. My plan is just to build simply, and then I can add detail later on. So this was the simple structure that I came up with just one stone pallet and one wood pallet. There's no texture in the roof or anything. I was playing around with decorating these windows, and I never got to it. I never filled them in. As you can see, I've just put blocks here to keep this guy safe, as he has a silk touch trade. And there's a cat here who is not tamed at all and is constantly trying to run away. The reason why I built this house here, though, is because down here there is actually a skeleton spawner. We could run all the way down, or I can take the very janky drop chute that I haven't set up properly. I have decorated the stairway going most of the way up. I was going to say all the way up, but I actually haven't done a lot of this. There is just a very basic skeleton farm down here, and I was going to spend the time to fully decorate this until I realized how slow skeleton spawners actually are for any XP at all. I was doing a lot of enchanting to begin with. I really wanted to enchant a lot and not just go straight into villager mode, epic, ultra, one-cost books and all of that. And I was enjoying it, except these spawners are really, really slow. So I didn't want to spend ages AFKing here for a bunch of levels, and I eventually moved on from using it. But I will finish decorating this one day, hopefully incorporate it into the vast majority of my base, if I possibly can. That is most of this area. I do have the upstairs of the house to show you, which I use a lot more often. I actually rarely walk down these stairs or through that door. I mostly come up here. Got a little netherwort farm. I'm breaking, and what's this guy? Oh, feather falling. There are some signs here for future projects and things I would like to work on. Up here, this ladder in the attic area of the house, once again, not decorated at all. I just have a quick furnace array. Very, very simple. And this is the room that I spend the most time in, which is my storage system, which is just a bunch of chests. There is nothing fancy here. I have made storage systems in the past. Never my own. I've always followed a redstone tutorial, and I'm really trying not to follow tutorials in this world, just as I'm trying to play the game slower as well. So I will be designing a storage system in the future, possibly using copper golems, maybe not. We'll see how I feel about it. I have explored a ancient city, which is why this skeleton head is right here. That was quite a fun task, and I have a bunch of footage from it, except it was not that interesting because I played it very safe. I spawned the warden a lot of times, and I just waited him out each time. I didn't die once. It was, in all, a fun experience for me, but maybe not a great video. So if you want to see that footage, let me know in the comments down below, and I might chuck it in a video somewhere. There's not much to see in this storage system. It's mostly organized. I got a bunch of valuables, quite a few diamonds and such, which, you know, don't hold that much value. Honestly, redstone holds a lot more value for me, as I use it quite a lot, or I try to. This is my first wither skeleton head, and this grass block right here was my first ever grass block. Before I got Silk Touch, I actually killed an Enderman for it, so I thought that was cool, and I chucked it on the wall. This map right here is not updated at all, and you can see in the bottom right hand corner is the house, and then there's a random dirt bridge that goes across the water there to something else on the top right of the map, which we will go check out right now. My nether portal sits in this window. I haven't even filled the windows in. I will finish this stuff eventually. Story of my life. From the villager breeder over to here, there's a track with a, what is this called again? I hate the new F3 screen. I can never read it. A blast furnace. I can't believe everything's swapped to the sides. Does anybody know how to change that? Anyway, sidetracked. A blast furnace, because under every single one of these cobblestones is a toolsmith. Nope, an armorer. That's what they are. Sorry, an armorer. That's because I was trying to get the iron trade from them all, and I had to go through every single one of these guys to get a bunch of iron trades. So all of these guys do not have the iron trade. Useless. Possibly not. I want to unlock them all the way, max them up, and just max them up, yeah. Level them up to max, and see what kind of tools and armor and such they have. Armor, because they're an armorer. Duh. Over here is the main area of my base. That was kind of where I started out, and I moved over to this area because, hello iron golems, because in the middle here is this very cool, wait for it, build the suspense, this is a very cool area in my opinion. We have a snowy mountain just over there, and then this awesome lake surrounded entirely, there's no access to the water on the other side, entirely by stone. And as you can see, I've started trying to build, I don't need to fix this, but I'm going to, starting to try build a little bit of terrain here. So I moved over here because I wanted to build in this area, which is great. And one of the first things I did was build an iron farm. It's actually a 4 village iron farm, or whatever that means. I did use a tutorial for this, as I know nothing about iron farms, although I did learn a lot building this, which is really great. So there's 4 sets of villages here, and it's very simple. The iron just comes down here to, I recently crafted a bunch of blocks, so yeah, there's not much iron in here, and there's nothing fancy to see about it. I do think I'm either going to tear it out and build it in my spawn chunks, as I'm not entirely sure why I didn't do that in the first place. I think I kind of just wanted it to be in the area, but to build it here in this area, I didn't realize how much flat land you needed, so I've had to carpet a bunch of this cliff and build out a bunch of this cliff. And on this side, I think I just used slabs because I didn't have moss, so it's all very ugly, and it kind of ruined this area a little bit. But it clearly works very well, so I'll leave it here for now and eventually might build it in my spawn chunks. The next thing I built after the iron farm was this building here, which is my blacksmith. And I wanted it to house zombie villagers. No, I'm kidding, I knew they were there. I wanted it to house all of these armorers, which are all of the guys that I got the iron trade for. So they're all being cured multiple times actually, because I fully messed up in letting them be zombified multiple times. As you can see, these guys here are not meant to be zombified. I thought placing triple carpets over here would stop outside zombies being able to track inside. However, I think I'm wrong, because these guys have been turned and these guys have been turned. Unless there's a dark spot on the rafters somewhere, but I don't think so. So I might try putting rails across here, or actually building a door of some kind. But I do like the... Ow! Ow! I do like the openness of this. I have done a reasonably good job, I think, at decorating it. I placed a fire in this corner. It's dark outside, and I didn't have a bed. Oh, I do have a bed. 1 second. Oh, well, yeah! No! Alright, we're just gonna run outside and hope there's no creepers. Perfect. I actually did get a mace eventually. I had to go to 3 or 4 trial chambers to get this mace, and I placed it on the wall over here. I would like to get another one to actually use it and enchant it and do all the fun things, and I haven't played around with it at all. This has lost 0 durability. So it can stay here for now, and I'll get another one eventually. Here's my rear diamond block, of which I think I have another one somewhere in the world that I've written the coordinates down, but I haven't mined it yet. Tried to build like a little lumber station thing here for cutting wood and such. It sucks that these can't go like half a block more down, but they look alright there, and I use the new shelves to try and add some texture and stuff. I've got some lava, got some water. That's basically it. And there's 12 villagers in here with their workstations, so I can trade with all the iron that I want. I mostly just store the iron in here. If I keep the iron farm over there, I might eventually pipe it automatically to here. Maybe using minecarts to like run it outside somewhere to add some life to the area. That would be really cool, I think, but future plans, future plans. You will find a lot of chests around the world, as I am very disorganized and have just left everything everywhere because I can't be bothered running back and forth to that storage system and trying to fill it up and make sure there's room for everything. So all of the blocks that I've used for certain builds, just the chests are still just outside those builds. Once I get shulker boxes and a proper storage system, all of that will be sorted. Once again, however, this building is very plain. It's just fully cobblestone because I didn't know what to make the walls out of. Originally, I went and collected a bunch of pale wood, the oak planks here, because I liked the color of these, but it does not go for the vibe of this building that I actually wanted. I remember I made the walls entirely out of this, regretted it, and tore it all down. So once I built this, I really wanted a lava farm, and I realized I couldn't put it in here, even though this is tiny, but I couldn't put it in here because all of this wood. So I wanted to build around the side like a little cellar door. I don't know if you've seen on many houses where you have a like triangular structure that comes out from the wall and the cellar doors open. That was very hard to build in Minecraft, and I couldn't really get it, so I added just this little like lean-to structure almost onto the side of the building. I might put something on the inside here, but I spent ages trying to work out the redstone for what you're about to see. Ready? The secret button that you thought was randomly placed on the ground. Woo! And this is my lava farm, not decorated at all. Hooray! I have collected quite a lot of lava. I was thinking of using it for fuel, so I might hook up this lava farm to a furnace array, to a smelter of some sort, whether that's another building out here or whether it's underground. I haven't decided yet, but I wanted a secret entrance because I built this structure and I didn't just want a dumb stairway. And it gave me some time to experiment with the redstone to make this stairway close and open. So how this works is there's the pistons under here, and they just retract this stair and this stair. Did I even need to retract this? I didn't need to retract this stair. I might be an idiot. Okay, anyway, this stair definitely needs retracting, and then these blocks just get pushed over the top, which sounds simple, and it is simple to go one way. But to go the other way was really hard for me to work out. Because basically, if I did it in the order of the stairs go down first and then the planks get pushed across, easy. But then to go in the reverse order with the same button press of these to be pulled and then the stairs to go up means I have to re-engineer the whole thing. Basically make 2 circuits. And I had zero plans. I hadn't built any of this in creative or anything. So I just tore up the ground and did my best to build it, and I was actually very happy with how it turned out. I was very happy with that. It was my first redstone project of the world, and I was super happy that I managed to come up with it by myself. It might be the jankiest redstone ever, but it was a lot more fun than just following a tutorial. So as you can see, I've been experimenting with some of the I keep doing this with some of this textured dirt and stuff, and I really like the transition from here to here. I want to do more with this moss and build it out more, but I haven't yet because I ran out of moss. So the next thing I built was in this cave over here. So just over the other side of this stone, there's actually quite a big cave down here, which I want to do something with eventually. But up here was this nice open space that I thought I would build a moss farm. Now, I don't understand why there's cobble every now and again in this. I think maybe it might be unloading issues, but I did try build a moss farm with just lava sitting there, and I was getting way more cobblestone. So I spent ages redesigning the whole thing to work, and the dispensers retract the lava just in time as it creates the stone. And this moss farm actually works very well. I'm actually really happy with it. I should have, quite a bit of moss. I haven't loaded this in quite a while as I've been working on other things in different areas. Is this not working? Wait, it doesn't seem to be growing much. I think something might be out of time. Maybe I unloaded it. Maybe I shouldn't unload this farm while it's running. I'm not quite sure. But the redstone looks like an absolute mess, and that's because it is. I built 3 different systems because I have 3 different lava sides, and I didn't try and hook them all up to the same system. This took me quite a long time to build, but once again, I built it, and I was really, really proud. I don't have that much redstone experience, so trying to build this and understand the systems and work through each kind of component of the puzzle, I really enjoy the puzzle aspect of it, was really fun. It works better than this, trust me. I'm not sure what's going on right now. This is the excess bone meal, and honestly the system to send the bone meal back to the dispenser and then the excess of it to come over here, I only just set up recently. Originally it was all just funneling down here and getting stored in a bin, and then I would go manually reload the dispenser. Next up, what do we have? Through the water again on this side. Just under here, you might have seen the water block that was in the floor of the blacksmith, and that's because through this tunnel there was a water elevator to get back up to the blacksmith, because I was sick of climbing this cliff to get back up there to get more resources. However, that has since been overrun by another project that I recently worked on. My next project was down this hole here. I cut down a lot of trees and I didn't really want to use the wood for a ton of chests and everything, so I came down here and built a massive bamboo farm. I think this is maybe 200 plants, I'm not quite sure, which is good enough for me, I'm pretty certain. I can expand it if I want, but it's a pretty simple bamboo farm. Once again, I built it myself, didn't really need a tutorial for this, I completely understand how they work. I did, however, use a hopper minecart and mud. I originally used mud because I was going to place hoppers under every single block, and if you don't know, mud isn't a full block, so a hopper will pick up an item through it. However, I didn't want to place that many hoppers, and that was really expensive at the time, so I put hopper minecarts underneath the tracks and left the mud because I like the color of it. So all those hopper minecarts, they come in 2s, 1 to there and 1 there, and I can just rip this up actually. They get shot out, the bamboo gets shot out into this water stream, which comes over to here, into this big auto crafting array. I say big, but it's really not. I spent ages, once again, setting all of this up, learning slightly how auto crafters work. I still don't really know, but these items were super simple to craft as they only use 1 item to create the outcome I want. So all of the bamboo gets shot into this crafter here. Oh, okay. Which crafts the bamboo blocks, as you can see. 9 of them gets crafted into a bamboo block. And then they get sent into the next crafter to craft... Is it working? Is there no bamboo? As to craft the bamboo planks. So the blocks into the planks. However, as they go through there, I have a system that pulls out the bamboo every single time it makes a block. So I think it actually pulls out 2 bamboo just because of the timings of this. Every time it makes a block, you can see here, it makes one and then it gets pulled out and then the bamboo starts going in. So that's so I can send bamboo back up to the storage as well. So I can store the bamboo planks, which are getting crafted in here, the bamboo itself, and I also wanted to be able to store these bamboo blocks. So when they get pulled into here and crafted, there is a system that will, one part of the time, craft the bamboo planks, and the other part of the time, suck them out of here and send them to the storage. So we can go check that out now. To get out of this hole, I was using wind charge dispensers. As you know, I've explored quite a few trial chambers and I had quite a few wind charges. Putting a bunch of wind charges in here and jumping and pressing this button, you get sent super high and they are a lot of fun. I really want to do more with them. However, I used it so much I ran out of wind charges, so we're going to have to climb the mountain. So once I built the bamboo farm and got all the auto crafting working, I wanted a building to put it in. So I started building this, which clearly does not match the vibe of this, and I understand that entirely. I'm actually really happy with this. It's not finished at all. There's no detail on the sides, and I barely did the front. But the roof took me quite a while, and the design and shape of the building also took me a while. Again, not much of a builder. Trying to learn these things and really delve into the aspects of the game that I haven't played that much of, because normally I just rush to get shulker boxes, and then I'm like, well, what else do I do? What do I do in my world now? Man, there's nothing to do. Okay, so I built this. I've done absolutely nothing with it, and I don't know what I will do with it. But I built it, and then I didn't realize... sorry, words are hard. And I realized I didn't like it for my bamboo storage. So right next to it, I built a smaller building, which I need to do all the terraforming for and such. And this is going to act as a little bit of like a lumber yard. So out the back here, I built it in an L shape so I can turn this into a lumber yard. And I think I'm going to build some kind of a tree farm here. Maybe using TNT, not quite sure. I've never built a tree farm without a tutorial before, so that'll be fun. And in here is the storage for everything. It's very simple. So in here we have bamboo blocks of bamboo, and this chest is meant to be for bamboo planks as well as this one. As you can see, there's a couple. But for now, all of those bamboo planks are actually getting crafted into chests, into this barrel right here. And I also had a system set up for the bamboo as well that crafts them into sticks, into this barrel right here. And once this fills up, the bamboo starts going into these chests, and once these chests get finished crafting, the bamboo planks will eventually go into here for whatever else I need bamboo planks for. Whether that's to build or excess wood for other things, I do not know, but I figured the thing I would use bamboo planks for the most is chests, so why not make it craft a ton of them, and then if I pull any out of here, it will craft more. The system for that is actually just under the ground here. There's more auto crafters. So I suck out, if you can see, the items get put into the chest here, and then I actually suck all of that bamboo out into this auto crafter here to craft sticks, which then goes over to that barrel, and I'm comparing that barrel, and when it gets full, it turns off this hopper through this block. Yeah, which is why this hopper's full, but this one has nothing in. And the same for the chests over there, except this system is not full. There's nothing in this hopper because any planks go into the crafter. So that's that building, and I haven't done anything more on it. As you can see, I just built it very basic and got all of that working. And then I moved on to another project. Whoopsies. I don't like to do all of it in one go. I just can't get my brain to do that, so taking breaks and coming back to it is really nice. There's no detail added to the buildings, and that's because the easiest way for me to build is just to build it as simply as possible. That's why this building is entirely cobblestone, and eventually I will come back and I will texture it all. As you can see, I started adding piles of ore outside, and I'll do all the terrain and hopefully add a bunch of things to this wall so it's not so flat. But that's my plan, and that is the area so far. As for plans for the rest of this area for my future base, I want to use the cave system a bunch. As you can see, I put a moss farm down there, and I also want to build up here a lot, so there's a lot of lively stuff going on with the terrain. Probably going to put a bunch of houses, whether they're all going to be different, and then to put paths through them all, and you can run through, and it's just a big mishmash of houses, or if I eventually find a theme. I clearly have not planned this out enough, but I'm happy and I'm having fun just building. Unfortunately, I didn't quite realize that that area and this area are so far away, so I don't think these crops grow if I'm not in this area. But eventually, this area I will outgrow. I'll decorate and finish, but I will outgrow, and I will be spending most of my time in this area, I assume. So any farms like the LA Villager farm, I might bring over to here and rebuild. Future plans for you guys and me to all experience together. If you're wondering about all the beacons, I'm trying to cover this area in beacons. I've set up speed for all of these. Like that single beacon and that single beacon is just speed, because I was sick of running from here back over to that house to get blocks and such from my storage room. What's next? I think that is basically it for the overworld, actually. I think I've covered it all. My closest trial chamber, if anyone is interested, is off in that direction, and I will eventually build a farm to farm the breezes and stuff, because I want to use the breeze rods a lot. The wind chargers, that's what they're called. Because as you can see, are these still loaded? Oh, yes. I can show you all. This is loaded. If you set up a 2x2 of these, stand in the middle, use a button, and if you jump slightly, you go super high. I'm going to turn my F3 on. If you look to the right of the screen where it says XYZ, a few bars down, 94 we're at currently, and if I do this, we go to 250. So lots of height, you can see the view. And the beautiful thing, which I'm not sure if is a bug or not, is when you use breeze charges, wind charges? When you use wind charges, you don't take fall damage, which is amazing. So using these to get up and down from anything is beautiful. I actually have set up one of those. If we jump off the cliff and swim around this corner, I was parking boats here and trying to get up to the mountain to go to my base, whatever I was working on in that area. And so I set up a quick one here, which I think still has some of them in. This is only 4 dispensers, but it's high enough to get me up the cliff. Whee! Perfect. Hello, putty cat. Meow. I really need to tame the cats. I really should. There's a bunch of cats and wolves around this area, and I would like to tame them. I just never have fish or bones on me, whenever I take the time to see them. So it is time now to go to the nether. Up the stairs, through the house, and into the window, which has no glass in it. So my nether, hold all expectations, is not done at all. I've done very little in the nether. I have some signs here to go to a jungle, the sunflower plains. The wither skeleton farm is off in this direction. So is the spawn chunks. Actually, I can show you. I've started building an ice road here. Get out of the way. I've started building an ice road. The rails are here to stop mob spawning because I prefer the rail look compared to like buttons. And this is not done at all. My spawn chunks is right here. Hello. Okay. My spawn chunks is just along here on this janky path. Not very far away, but the portal is still... Oh no. The portal is still all the way down at the spawn of the portal. Like where it first spawned when I built it. Which is terrible because I'm building my nether hub at like 108, which is all the way up there. Oh, it's nighttime. I've left a bed here. There is nothing in this area except for the portal, which I only just recently set up because I was using this area to farm packed ice. Specifically blue ice, because I'm using it to build the roads in my nether hub eventually. But I was tearing out all of these glaciers and such. If anyone would like a quick reference, my base is off in that direction. Past this ice, there is all the water, and then that cliff, which looks quite spectacular from the water, and I really like living on top of it. So I'm gonna get back up there, and I'll see you in a second. Oh, you guys see that car spawn? Hopefully he doesn't shoot me off. I'm almost back up at the walkway, and I don't have enough blocks on me. Okay, I don't have a bow on me. It's really bad. Alright, we're good. We're safe. Yes. Off in this direction is my wither skeleton farm, which is very far away, so I will see you there. And welcome to the Soul Sand Valley. Oh no, this is going to be so dangerous. I don't have a bow. Okay. Welcome to the Soul Sand Valley, where I built my wither skeleton farm. If you don't know, wither skeleton farms are really good to build in Soul Sand Valleys because the only things that spawn here are skeletons and ghasts, which means the... what am I doing? Which means the rate of mobs in the biome itself is limited, which means you get a lot more wither skeletons spawning in your farm. This is not the most ideal nether fortress in a Soul Sand Valley, as just over this way is nether wastes, and over that way is a crimson forest, which I have lavaed a little bit of, and I will be lavering a bit more of to make these rates even better for my wither skeleton farm. I technically have a double intersection, although I've only used a single intersection so far, and it is only one platform so far. So standing right here, I load quite a bit of the crimson forest and the nether wastes, so whenever I spend time at this farm, I run in this direction here, which is just far enough away that basically unloads the nether waste. And the crimson forest, I actually did lava up to 128 blocks from this point here. Maybe if I go close to the farm and AFK, where I would actually... Shut up, phone. I didn't turn it off. Where I would actually like to, I should... God, that really distracted me. Okay, if eventually I would like to AFK or be able to use the farm at least by where the skeletons actually die, so I will have to maybe lava a bit more. I'm saying lava and not slab because I think placing lava over the terrain and using blocks to help it spread and just wearing a fire resistance potion is much easier and faster than slabbing. So this is the farm. It's very basic, but I did build it myself, and I designed the drop chamber myself, which was really difficult to build actually because I tried lots of iterations to stop the wither skeletons being able to hit this guy. You have no idea how many times he died and I had to go get a new one. It was so frustrating. The killing chamber is just down here and it's super basic, and it doesn't matter if I get a hit now because really? This is a backup of this world, and I get 2 hits. That is insane. Okay, that's fantastic. That's my luck, of course. I wonder if that applies straight away to my actual saved world. If I go to it and do this exact thing, will it happen? No, is the answer. I want to add more platforms, and yeah, there's nothing else to see here. I think the only thing left to show you in this world is where I got my wither roses from, which isn't particularly exciting, but I want to share as much of this world as possible with you guys from the get-go. So if we come back to my main portal in the nether hub, just over here is... Dun, dun, dun. This is the spot I want to break bedrock. This block here, 127, yes. And right here is where I build the wither, because there's a reasonable chunk of bedrock here that manages to trap him, and I put a ton of chickens. in here, which is what all the eggs were for that fox eventually killed the chickens. But I threw a lot of chickens in here. I got all of the wither roses that I needed for one platform of the farm, and I messed up a lot of times because I didn't have vines for entity cramming and a ton of them died, and then I let all the chickens escape at one point. So there was like 200 chickens running all the way around here, and I had to try and lure them all back in. It was so painful, but I got all the wither roses I needed. I need more, actually, if I want to continue the wither farm, but for that particular platform, it was successful. So that is it for my world. That is all I have to show you. Pretty much everything that I've built in the world so far, and I'm actually super proud of it. It's basic, and it might not be super magnificent or anything, but it's mine, and I've spent a lot of time and happy moments and very frustrating moments making it all. So it is now a pleasure to be able to share that with all of you guys, and I really hope that you continue to enjoy this survival series, the survival single player series of mine, or of ours, as we are in it together now. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I hope you all look forward to episode 2 coming very soon to a screen near you. Goodbye.